Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Send your request into designs@patioheat.com for your personalized recommendations. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your applications. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so this is a viewer comment and also an email that was a request to help the layout of some outdoor heating for this residential patio. And so first of all, by all means, leave a comment and send us a question. We are happy to assist you in any way we can. And I thank you for doing that. In any case, let's go ahead and look at what we have here. So there is some seating positions over here. We have a bar seating position over here. This is a second story. I believe it might be enclosed with a screened in area. There's also a door that's supposed to be here for that screened in section, but I didn't place it here. But I believe it does swing into the patio. It's about 36 inches in length. I'm not quite sure of the exact location of it, but anyways, we do have fans, if I didn't mention that before. Let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions that I do have. So the dimensions I have is 10'8" from this point here to this point here. And then from over here, I have at 23'5" from the edge over here to the edge over here. And we have a different height of a total of 8'4" to the finished height of the ceiling. And then I placed this at this window and door frames at 1 foot 4 inches from the ceiling down. And then you can see here it's at 7 feet to the top from the floor, finished floor itself. The fans, I'm not quite sure of the actual diameter of the fans. I placed a 4-foot diameter fan here. And also, I have it dropped down 1 foot 5 inches to the bottom of the blades. So just that's important, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. I think that is about it. I do believe I have the fans centered within this 10'8" span, so that would be 5 foot 4 inches to the center. And that might also be something that we could adjust here in just a minute. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you really looked at the center of the ceiling area, that would probably, well, my posts are 6x6, so that would be 6-inch difference, which is going to make a difference. You'll see here in a minute. All right, I think that's about it for right now as far as the dimensions go. Let's go ahead and turn that off and look at a couple of different, first of all, questions that they had. And that question would be, can I place some CD heaters and mount them on this edge of the wall, I believe, and angle them out? So the first thing you can see here is the doorway. If this doorway does swing out, can't do it, because now you are going to have a huge fire hazard, and this would not be something I would recommend. Also, these are CD6024s, 6,000 watt 240 volt heaters. The clearance, when you angle the heaters mounted on a ceiling, not on the wall, but on the ceiling itself, if you mount the heater on the ceiling, point it 30 degrees out, so from down 30 degrees out, then you need to maintain 6 inches of clearance behind the heater, and you could use the OEM brackets on top of the heater. Now, once you change it beyond that 30 degrees mounted on the ceiling, then you have to drop it down additional 6 inches. So if I was to mount it in this position here, I would go with the 30 degrees max tilt, and you can see that the coverage over here, and I'm actually going to eliminate this one right now just for reference, that if this doorway is there, but you can see that the footprint of heat, in fact I'll just show you here again, the footprint of heat on the bar stool seating height looks okay. However, you're setting up a little bit higher, and you're not going to be in the actual ray of the heater itself. So this is infrared light waves. Infrared light waves do not heat the air temperature. What they heat is mass, so it'll heat the floor, table, chairs, and human bodies. And if you're not in that light wave, you're not going to appreciate any of the output itself. But let's go ahead and take that off and look over here, and you can see that here you would be probably 90%, 85% in that light wave from this position here. However, this is a 6,000 watt unit at, I think we said about 8 foot off the floor, and it's designed for a higher application. So this is designed for about 2 more feet higher, and so this would be a very intense area to sit in. This would be okay. However, another thing that you may or may not think about is the fact that this is the exposed side of the patio, so air movement is going to come through this direction most likely and then evacuate as it goes through. Maybe the wind is coming this direction from left here to right over here and sweeping through. So the area that you really want to be protected on isn't necessarily 100% the face or the front of your body. It might be a portion of the back of your body as well. So this is not my favorite option, placing a heater on a solid wall that the exposed side is over here. So would I do this? Probably not. I think this would be too hot, and for this position here, and not enough for over here for comfort. So let's go ahead and look at maybe another option that I might look at when placing it just on the ceiling. And I have here 4 units actually, and that's not something I wanted to recommend. However, I want you to see that there's two ways of mounting a slimline 4,000 watt unit. You can mount it on the ceiling, or you can mount it on a vertical surface. The nice thing about the slimline, when you mount it on a vertical surface, you can go with that you can only go with a 30-degree tilt, but you can maintain that 6 inches of clearance above the heater, so you don't have to drop it down an additional additional 6 like you did on the other units I just showed. However, I'm going to go ahead and turn the one off here on the top for a moment, and I want you to see that this heater mounted on a vertical surface or a wall, or in this case a beam, 6 inches of clearance above, 45-degree tilt down, is not penetrating this space here very well. Now, for the bar stool seating height, that might be fine. In fact, I should also mention, on a bar stool seating height, I would probably use a 3,000 watt unit, because you're sitting another foot higher essentially, and so you're going to be 4 times as hot or closer to the unit as far as the intensity is concerned. So I don't like a 4,000 watt unit here unless you can use a control system. I would probably go with a 3,000 watt unit if no control system is being used. Let's turn that back on and go over here for a second and go ahead and turn the ceiling mount one off. Whoops, I think I missed that. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can see here again the position of that 30-degree tilt, maximum tilt, won't allow the seating position to be heated in the back. So your back's rested against here, your head's up here, your upper torso is going to be over here. You're not going to feel as much warmth as you really want to. So that's why I don't choose this particular mounting option as much as I do this mounting option, ceiling mount, and going with a possible 30-degree tilt towards the center or inside edge of the patio. And then you can see over here, hold on one second. So you can see over here that the coverage up to the back of the lounge area. Let me go ahead and take off the top here, and it may be easier to see. All right, so yeah, you can see here that lounge space here is getting heated all the way to the back. So if your sofa is not like this, let's say it's a little slimmer right here and pushed up a little bit more closer to the beams back here, you're going to be more in that heat ray mounted in this position, unlike you know, the other one, which was more of the wall mounted, pointed at 45-degree tilt. So I like this better here. I think that's about it. Okay, so also just note that I'm going to go ahead and turn these back on, and I'll need to save this so I can have this as a document here for a while. But I'm going to go ahead and just hide these for the time. Okay, and let's go ahead and look at the top here. So I just want to also mention that this is the center position of the actual kind of the floor plan that I had. I'm not quite sure if that's exact where it's going to be, but the heater itself is centered within that span itself. And then let's go ahead and look at that clearance below the heater like I had mentioned before, and go with the dimensions. And you can see with this dimension of this diameter, I should say, of a 4-foot diameter fan blade, we're actually penetrating into that non-combustible zone. So the two things that you could do is, number one, you can get a fan with steel blades, non-combustible blades, that will allow the heater to actually be there and the fan to be in its exact location as I mentioned. The other thing too I should mention is that you don't want the fan blade itself in that physical ray of heat. Another option as well is, you know, I looked at, you know, moving this up possibly 10 inches to get that and that would be the drop of the fan. Sorry, the drop of the fan would only be from the ceiling. 7 inches down would be the fan blades themselves, and at that 10 inches we're out of that combustible zone right here. So a couple things you could do, obviously. So let's go ahead and place that back down, and then I'm going to go ahead and move. Like I said before, this fan blades are, I believe, centered within that 10-foot 8 span. You could actually just move the fans approximately, you know, let's just go and see what 4 inches looks like. And with that 4-inch movement, we're just still inside, so we'll do 4.5 inches, and it looks like now we are outside of that combustible area. So again, these heaters are mounted on the ceiling, and they are at a 45-degree, straight down, 30 degrees tilted up, and that penetration of the ray is more directed down towards the bottom here. So I think that's about it for this. And this heater over here I didn't mention is centered within that fan itself as well. And this would be a good, especially the outside edge here, would be a very good heated position. Again, 3000 watt maximum over here, or 4000 with a control system. 4000 watt unit over here would be my preference on the far side over here. All right, last thing I want to show, and this is not something that I believe this particular viewer is interested in, but just in case some other people are interested in this, I want to show this. This would be my preferred style of heating if this was my choice. So let's go ahead and turn this off, and I'm going to go ahead and put on what I call the pseudo roof structure, meaning that I am not a builder. I'm not a one that designs structural things here, so it's gonna look, quote unquote, something like this. And what I want you to see is if we were to place some some flush mount systems in here, and it would look something more like this. Now this would be too many heaters, but I just need to talk about the clearances around the fans and what else we could do. And in a case, you know, this would be something that would physically look much better, in my opinion, for a new structural design than anything else. So if we just turned off the ray for a second here, and I'm going to turn off the clearances for a moment. You know, you can see that they don't stand out as much when they're mounted in the ceiling, so I really like the flush mount system. I do have the heaters centered within that span, like I said before, that 10-foot 8 span, so 5 foot 4 inches, and they're mounted on the ceiling beams. And also, sorry about that, I would probably want my stucco finish to be 1/2 inch away from, if it's a stucco finish. It could be wood finish too, but if it's a stucco finish or wood finish, I would want it to be 1/2 inch away from these vent hole openings and over the top of the actual flush mount frame itself. If it's a combustible surface, you need to just lower the heater. There's a way to lower the heaters using the brackets that support them down to the same elevation as whatever the flush mount, the bottom edge of the the ceiling combustible surface is. They do drop down, I think, roughly about an inch to maybe 7/8 of an inch down from the physical bracket. All right, that's that, and let's go ahead and turn that back on, or I should say move that back. And then I'm just going to look at, you know, possibly this would be my probably option for a patio like this. I would probably want to move everything. Sorry about that sound there. And I would probably want to move everything just one beam over. I have these at, I should call them the roof beams here, or ceiling joists, I guess. I would move them over 1/16 of an inch, and, you know, eliminate that one heater, and then take these over here and move these all over maybe 1/16 or 16 inches in. And that would be probably the best type of application. Now, we still need to make sure that we are meeting the clearances to combustibles before or below. And, you know, what we need is 18 inches from the edge of the heater itself, not the frame, but the heater itself, to any combustible surface around. And if this, in fact, is that 2 foot, the 4 foot, and I want to go ahead and move this here, I guess. Let's see here. If this is in fact 4 foot diameter, then, you know, we need to really be careful about how close we are in contact with that. And moving the blade up will not increase that clearance zone. So, but if we were looked at the array, let me just go ahead and take off this rooftop for a moment. Let's see here. You know, you can see now, you know, we do have that really nice coverage throughout the entire span of the patio itself. And this would be my most preferred if it is available. One last thing is, you know, the doorway does have to has to be an issue here. So, you know, if this doorway swings out, we're still having to deal with that. And you know, speaking of the doorway, you know, if we were to place that other doorway here, let's just go with a 3 foot doorway here. Let's see here. Give me just 1 second, and we'll go up here. Let's just go right to the same height as this doorway here, and we'll call that apart here. And again, you know, dealing with this, I would imagine it's going to be away from the wall. I'm going to go with maybe 4 inches and bring this all the way up to the edge over here. And we'll go ahead and just make a, let's turn this array off for a second, and we'll go ahead and change the angle here slightly, and I'll go with a 45-degree angle in towards the center, and you can see that that itself is in that footprint of heat. or excuse me, the clearances, and probably the footprint of heat as well. Yeah, they're, so that's the safety issue here. So the only way you could do this outer one on a application like this is by making the door swing out, if that's possible. And again, I'm not sure if that is something that's structurally possible or not, but that's my suggestion, as well as the doors here swinging in as opposed to swinging out. All right, well, I hope this is not too long, and also I hope it was something that helps. I'm going to go ahead and turn some of these other options off here, and I'm going to go ahead and put down the probable option that is the best mounting for this particular application at this moment. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button, and again, make a comment, make a question. Anything you do, it really helps our channel out, and it helps others find our channel, and we tried our best to help others make the best decisions for their outdoor patio heating application. Thank you so much. Have an excellent day.